because they're undroppable because they're so good, some of them. Whereas if they actually built a squad of 25 proper players, they could rotate them. Yeah, but then you get the other arguments to that is, yeah, but why would you drop Mohamed Salah? Why would you drop a guy Saka? Why would you drop Kevin De Bruyne? Why would you drop Haaland? Yeah, these players are undroppable. And yes, they are undroppable, but with the schedule, it's not that. But at the same time, like, come on, how many times have we seen this with Saka where he's limping off, then he's back for the next game, then he limps off again, he's back for the next game. This guy needs a break, bro. Real talk.
Well, the problem with England now is that it's not like it was when Sven-Goran Eriksson was manager. Before Sven-Goran Eriksson, we had Kevin Keegan. You had McLaren, you had Capello, you had Croydon, you had Allardyce. Sorry, you had Croydon Roy and you had Allardyce and Southgate. And before Gareth Southgate became England manager, no one wanted to play for England. You know, playing for England was a chore. The press lambasted the players, so it wasn't an attractive proposal to play for England. Another thing as well, because of the dearth of talent, certain players were sure of their places. And you had players who, along with their wives, confused their talent with their paychecks. You know, some of them were, you know, saw England, they were, you know, playing for England, they're doing England a favour. Now, since the World Cup in 2018 in Russia, places are at a premium. Every player who qualifies for England wants to be in those squads because they know that if they don't play well, they'll lose their place. Look what's happening to Rashford. Look what's happening to Sterling. You know, look what's happening to Walker. All these players are not sure of their places because there's a conveyor belt of talent. Hence the fact Saka 100% will want to play for England because he does want to miss out. You know, people talking about Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer got Player of the Year for England. I don't know whether he got that because of his performance at Chelsea, but he certainly didn't play enough international football for him to get that. But he's breathing down his neck. Phil Foden, he wants to play every game. So I think as much as we want to protect Saka for England, Saka, the England international, feels he has to go to play for England when he's available. Hence the fact, if he's 80% fit for the next set of games against Republic of Ireland and Greece, he's going. That's where England's now. Not only do they feel they have to, you know, like I said, be there in case they lose the place, they actually enjoy it. They enjoy playing for England. And there is a problem with every club that has, you know, like I said, has potential England players or England players. They're going to go. Declan Rice, no matter how vital we think he is for Arsenal in the midfield, whether it's a number 6 or number 8, he will go to this next England camp. And that's the thing that our football fans need to get in their heads. As much as you love your Premiership and, you know, you love the Monday night football, you love Super Sunday, you love Friday night football, you love the 5:30 game and the game on BT Sport. I get that. You know, as I say, discussions on like I said, about the Premiership or watch-alongs, whatever it is, that is the golden egg. That is the goose that lays the golden egg, and I get it. But these players now want to play for their countries. So we can have as much debates as we like regarding the players and whether Arsenal comes first or Nottingham Forest comes first or Man United come first or Spurs come first. The fact is, these players want to be part of these squads. And that's the problem. And Arteta can't do nothing about it. Not a thing about it. But when it comes to England, his England players.
It's not even just England players. Like, people are saying like these international breaks are pointless, they're boring.
Are they? What would you say to Brazilian players? What would you say to Martinelli and to Gabriel when they got World Cup qualifiers, where Brazil are fourth in their league, where if they finish below 5th, they don't go to the World Cup. This means absolute Brazil. Then you've got
Odegaard. If Norway, if they top their Nations League group, then that puts them into a playoff for a World Cup and for a Euro. So it means everything to him.
Yeah, they just lost 5-1 without their captain, I suppose, their second best player. So that's what we need to sort of factor in. As much as we love our Premiership, every international game that our players are now participating in has something on it, especially the countries from South America and Africa. Just can't. we just have to, grin and bear it. But hang on here, let's not deflect at the real reason there's injuries. It's not just international games; it's a Champions League. The fact, and let's not forget, Arsenal got a small squad, and because we've gone 5 years without winning a trophy, we have to win a trophy. So Mikel Arteta has to pick strong teams, or else us three are going to go for him. Hey, hang on, out you go. No, where's the silverware? Because he's a big club. He has to win something. So whatever people say, I know people talk about Benjamin White. Benjamin White doesn't want to play for England, but let's face it, Benjamin White, I can think of about 4 or 5 players that will play at right back ahead of Benjamin White. And he's not even the best right back at Arsenal, mate. That's the thing. It's a sad thing to say, but is he? We've had debates where he's not the best player at Arsenal. That's the problem.
Well, what do you make of it, Jez? Obviously, you're Welsh. Yeah, you've seen your nation, or part Welsh. Sorry, my bad. You've seen your nation get to a semi-final with players like Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey, etc. Yeah. So, like, for you that supports a smaller nation in comparison to some of the heavyweights, like the France, the Englands, the Brazils, etc. Like, where do you sit with this? Because like nobody expected, and just because nobody expected it doesn't mean it can't happen. But nobody expected Wales to get that far.
No.
When they got to that semi, and Gareth Bale performed, Aaron Ramsey performed, a few others. Who was the other guy in midfield that played for Liverpool? What was his name? It wasn't Jay Rodriguez. It was.
Yeah,
it's gone. It's gone. I can't remember. Joe Allen. That's it. Bless up the chat. Joe Allen. Yeah, you had them players like carrying Wales on their back. So when I see like Norway and I see Odegaard wanting to play every minute of every game, and listen, sad that he got injured. Very sad that he got injured. You don't want to see that happen, and you could tell he was in pain. Same with other players for other nations. Like, how do you see that supporting Wales? Like, do you see it as, well, we're not going to win it, so who gives a shit? Or no, actually, I want to see the best players play, because we all want to see our best players play for our clubs. But at the same time, when they go to international break, I feel like the last 15 or 20 years, football fans in general have said, fuck the nations. How do you see that supporting Wales?
Well, I think it's a different view as a sort of Welsh supporter. Look, we've got a much, much smaller player base to choose from of quality. Let's be fair. Nothing like what England have got. So any player that plays for Wales, I think they wear their hearts on their sleeves. We've had some great Welsh players. I mean, but we've never really achieved, to be honest. But the fact, I'll be honest, when we got to that semi-final in the Euros, I was like, geez, beating Belgium, doing that, one of the favourite teams, it was quite spectacular. But I think it's a different ambition with Wales, because those players, probably, if they're realistic, no, really, they're not going to win it, but they want to compete in it, because it was what was it 19 until we got those Euros? It was what, something like 58. Yeah, the World Cup.
My dad was born.
Yeah, so it was a big, massive thing for the nation of Wales to get there, because let's be fair, it's only since the late 90s that football really has kicked off massive in Wales. It's always been rugby, because Wales had fantastic Welsh rugby teams. They're pretty shit at the moment, I won't deny that. But every team goes through transition. But the fact is, it's an ambition for Wales, because at the end of the day, all the Welsh supporters think, we're going to the Euros and we're going to do this, we're going to do that, but not really expecting. My RIP, my cousin Alan, devout Cardiff City fan, devout Wales fan. He went to those Euros and he said it was just an amazing journey, but we never expected to win. There you go. I mean, it sums it up. Fair play to Wales. Well done to them. Bit like, I suppose it's a bit like Scotland. It's a bit like Ireland. Great players, but not enough to get you over the line. So every position in the Wales team, all those nations, they're going to fulfill it with the best they've got. And unfortunately, Lee, that some of them aren't great.
This is the point, yeah. And like for me looking at it, yeah, this comment from Bailey a second ago, yeah, the Nations League for the top nations is pretty much pointless. However, on the flip side of that, Gareth fucking Southgate got us relegated. Yeah, so like, even though we have this snobbery, you know, I'm not saying you do, Bailey, and bless up for watching as always, my guy. Smash these likes up as well, guys. Both the lads' links are pinned comment in the chat. We have this snobbery in England, like, wow, we're qualified anyway. But then we didn't, we were struggling. Now we're relegated. You know, we got relegated into a lower group.
Group B.
So it is important for them to play the games and win the games, because otherwise now we have to go into a qualifier. Yeah, so we have to start doing these things. Like, and this is the problem they've made with football. Yeah, this comes from, this isn't because of the players, it isn't because of the managers, yeah, it isn't because of the fans. It's because the chiefs of football, the people that run world football, FIFA, UEFA, so on and so forth, they just take the piss. Yeah,
well, they want to
make
money, but every association wants to make money. You know, I don't think people underestimate the effect of the coronavirus pandemic. Where people, you can christen that wherever you like. Where you can put an SC in front of pandemic if you want. That's up to you. But the fact is, people lost a lot of money during the pandemic in terms of empty crowds, revenues, and I had to, like I said, take an exemption from the TV money they got as well. So that's why people need the money. But the thing with the League of Nations, the thing that helps UEFA in their quest to make the League of Nations an important tournament, and the problem the naysayers will have regarding the League of Nations is the right teams have won the League of Nations. Portugal were the first winners.
Portugal, Spain, and France.
Yeah, exactly. Portugal, then France, and Spain. So big teams have taken it seriously, and that's what it kind of similar to the FA Cup, which is now being devalued, they say, and the League Cup is being devalued, they say. But the right teams have won the FA Cup. The right teams have won the League Cup. Tell me when a team outside the top six has won the FA Cup or League Cup. It's very rare that happens.
Last time was what, Wigan?
Yeah, Wigan. And then you had
Swansea.
Wigan in 2013. You had Swansea in 2013. Yeah, 2013. So Wigan and Swansea both won.
Leicester, to be fair. Leicester did win it.
Leicester, yeah. But apart from them, those teams.
That's like 3 out of the last, 11?
Yeah.
So 20, the last 22 FA Cup and League Cups, only 3 teams. So non-Big Six.
9 out of 10 times, as you all know, there's one manager in the Premiership who's managed to cling on to his job because he won the FA Cup and because he won the League Cup the year before. Now, as much as you laugh, that is the situation. Now, if you kind of translate it to international football, when I saw the League of Nations final between Portugal and Holland, the best Portugal team was playing against the best Holland team. So I saw the final with Spain and France, which France won. The best French team was playing against the best Spanish team, and then when Spain won it against Croatia on penalties, they both played strong lineups. So, yeah, of course Spurs have contributed, but that's the situation. Teams are taking it seriously. Teams are playing big squads. Again, the reason why is with the competition amongst the top European nations, and England are one of them. You don't turn up for these tournaments, you do not play. You don't play well, you do not play because you will get dropped. None of this, David Beckham's had a bad game, but he's going to play the next game, or the situation with, Frank Lampard, Stevie G. No. The Stevie G, Frank Lampard, David Beckham days, Marco Owen days are gone. Forget it. Any England player that's sure his place right now is Harry Kane. Apart from that, everything's up for grabs. Maybe pick goal. Apart from that, the other 9 players, your place are up for grabs. We've seen it.
Sorry to cut in. Hendo said this to me last night. Hendenguna, big up Hendenguna. Big up everyone inside. Smash these likes up, lads. Links are pinned, for both the lads. He said that Harry Kane has probably got sanked where he has to play because of the sponsorship deals, because he's got a lot of sponsors that are linked to England as well.
I believe
contractual. Because that's the only. It's like when Bellerin was playing for Arsenal and Xhaka were playing for Arsenal. They're dropping stinker after stinker and stinker after stinker because it was contracted that they had to play at least 30 games if they were fit in the league. Yeah, and that's why Bellerin was stinking it out every week and he'd start again. Xhaka's stinking it out, start again.
Harry Kane, I believe that. I believe that.
I do as well.
I believe that, and I think probably just there's the same accusations for Harry Kane in Bayern Munich because, you know, although he scored a few goals in the big games, he's been getting criticised by Dietmar Hamann because of his performances against, you know, the big games in Germany in terms of Leverkusen's and Dortmund's and his performances in the Champions League. So I get that. I'll never, because we all know what happened with the real Ronaldo or the previous Ronaldo with Brazil. The reason why he got injured all the time is that because of their deal with Nike, he had to play every game.
Yeah, in the final. Yeah, he had to play the final when he was injured. Yeah, R9 had to play that final because he had to deal with Nike. And it's the biggest game in world football, World Cup final. Yeah, and like, it's what it is. It's like, it all comes back to money. Follow the paper trail, mate. You find out the truth, innit? And that's the same with real life, let alone football. But let me just grab this super chat and I'll let you come in, Jez. Top 5 Welsh players: John Charles, Gareth Bale, Ian Rush, Giggsy, and Hughes. Mark Hughes was a bad boy. I fucking hated that guy, but he was so good. I never liked him. Never liked Mark Hughes. He pissed me off. Just his face wound me up. Yeah, but he was such a good player. All of them were. For me, yeah, Gareth Bale, best foreign import from the UK, mate. Best foreign import out into Europe. Yeah, that guy is the best British player that has played abroad. Yeah, that in my opinion. You guys might disagree and say Kevin Keegan or Hoddle or someone like that, or Waddle, I don't know. Yeah, but for me, Gareth Bale, 5 Champions League, sorry. All the trophies he's won, big moments, scoring in the big games. No, I think he's the best British player to play abroad ever. But sorry, Jez, go on.
No, I was just going to say, one player that we will remember that was a great manager at Real Madrid as well, who played for Wales and Liverpool, was John Toshak. What a player.
He was a fucking good manager as well. Won Madrid the league, considered one of their greatest league achievements of all time, one of the best Real Madrid teams of all time. Because back then, it was 2 points for a win, and they won the league by 9 points, averaging 4 goals at home every game. And then guess what they did? The following season, he was sacked by November because they had a shit start.
There you go. There you go. You know, that's what big teams do.
Standards, guys. Standards. You're not allowed that in England.
Hey, Psycho beats. Asked the question: was Ian Rush really that good?
Oh, he was. He was that good.
Yeah, he was good.
He was that good. Yeah, Ian Rush was unreal, mate. Yeah, Ian Rush was fucking crazy, mate. And do you know what it is here? Because he was skinny, and he had a little moustache. He just looked he looked scoused, didn't he? Let's just be real with it. Ian Rush looks, back then, do you remember Yozza Hughes? Gets a job. Gets a job. Yeah. He looks exactly like him. Yeah. Gets a job. But he didn't look like a footballer. Yeah. And you put him on the football pitch, bro, that guy was a gunman. That guy could finish every chance. He was so good, man.
Ian Rush, he struggled at Juventus, but that first pit, that at Liverpool, him and Kenny Dalglish, that partnership, and the fact that if you look at Ian Rush will actually smash it in today's football because he presses. He was the first striker to press from the front. You think about top British strikers. You've got Jimmy Greaves, Ian Rush, Gary Lineker.
I'm glad. One second. North side. If you can hear me, come here for 1 second. This guy said, yeah, it is dickhead, yeah. If you can, I know you can hear me as well, you pussy, yeah. Come here if you can hear me. I'm so fucking glad you said Jimmy Greaves. He sat on a stream with me when we did the Spain and Portugal games the other day, yeah. And he said, your nation's never produced a player as gifted or as talented as Cristiano Ronaldo. I said, really? What about Jimmy Greaves? Yeah. And they went, yeah, but what's his goals record? Nobody cares. You said gifted. Yeah. Then I said fucking Glenn Hoddle. Yeah. Who else did I say? There was one. There was another one.
Best players ever. Best long passes as much as ever produced.
Yeah.
Better than Gaza.
I said Gaza. Oh, Gaza, that was the other one. I said Gaza, Jimmy Greaves, and Glenn Hoddle. I said they were all better than Cristiano Ronaldo as footballers. They were. What? And I know you like Ronaldo. You can't even argue. They're all better.
Cristiano Ronaldo, he's not just his record. To to achieve what he's achieved, you have to be a good footballer. You can't be a lucky footballer. You can't be the amount of goals he scored, the amount of what he's won. So you have to be able to play and to be first choice for your country, for your club and countries. But in terms of those players, when you talk about Gaza, I can think of 10 players, British players, are better than Gaza. In fact, some of them I could say right now, Rodney Marsh is better than Gaza. Tony Curry's better than Gaza. Alan Unsung, who I used to speak to quite a lot, is better than Gaza. All right. Paul Scholes is better than Gaza. Yeah. Johnny Barnes is better than Gaza. So when you talk about Gaza, and Glenn Hoddle, of course, is better than Gaza. Now, those players, if you take away the players like
Trevor Francis, you've forgotten Trevor Francis.
Trevor Francis is mad underrated.
Very underrated.
Trevor Brooking is mad underrated as well. He never got his flowers, man.
Yeah, and he played for England when West Ham were in the second tier of English football. Yeah. But when I talk about individual skill, and when I talk about all the stuff Gaz has done, Tony Curry was doing what Gaz was doing. Rodney Moss used to do what Gaz does. Alan Hudson used to do what Gaz does.
I know you got to sort out your packing. Yeah, Northside, stinker and deported. Yeah, stinker and deported. Who did you mention a minute ago when we were talking about England greats, Kenny?
Jimmy Greaves is one of Jimmy Greaves.
What did I say to you the other day? Jimmy fucking Greaves, get in the bin, stinker and
Greaves is one of the most gifted, most natural goal scorers we've ever seen. Every club Jimmy Greaves went to, he scored goals. At every level, Jimmy Greaves scored. One of the biggest injustices is in 1966 is that Jimmy Greaves got injured and he couldn't.
Can you tell him how good he was everywhere he played? Chelsea, Spurs, AC Milan, he won a title. Tell him how good Jimmy Greaves was. Tell him because he don't believe.
Jimmy Greaves scored every type of goal and he could dribble as well.
Tell him, Jez. Tell him. Wind him up.
He is, but don't get me wrong. I still think CR7. You talk what great players. CR7's got to be up there. You can't have that. You can't be that lucky and have those achievements. But Jimmy Greaves, great player. Yeah. Great player.
Big up to Jez. Big up to Kenny. Kenny, don't let him influence you. Don't let him say anything. Yeah, you're a good guy. Yeah, you know what I mean. Don't let yourself be manipulated by this guy. Big up to the both of you lot. I hope you're both good, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, listen, the greatest goal scorer of all time.
Yeah, but you said, tell him exactly what you said very quickly, because I know you got a pack here. Right? Tell him what you said.
No, we've got time. You're going to rush me now because you.
Okay, well, let's swap seats then, because I need to get a beer. Right. Yeah, you said England have never produced a player, like Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah,
that's what I said.
You said they never produced a player as talented as Cristiano Ronaldo. Jez will tell you about Jimmy Greaves.
I said
he knows about Jimmy Greaves.
What I meant is, Lee, as soon as you say one thing, that's it. No. We're going to go back to what you said. I meant greatest goal scorer. I was talking about goals because I don't look at Ronaldo as the most talented. My favorite footballer of all time, personally, is Ronaldinho. That's a player that I've never seen anybody replicate what he done. Ronaldinho. And I know people put Messi, and I get it, but Ronaldinho, we saw a star that was only 40% dedicated to the game. That's someone truly talented at something. To give 40% and still be in the elite table. If he had the discipline of Messi and Ronaldo, I think we would have seen Ronaldinho become the greatest, in my opinion. That's
right, let me just pin
obviously this. That's also based on the time that I'm watching football. Like Jimmy Greaves, I never watched him. My mum says his debut was way better than Ronaldo. She watched his debut, I didn't. So
one second, I can't hear anything they're saying. 1 second, because we need to just mud this guy, bro, because he's being zesty. Yeah, 1 second.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Can you hear it? I can't hear. I know what you're saying, but I can't hear what they're saying. You got the earmuffs on. Go on, carry on. Go on.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't debate Kenny or Jez. I can't debate the both.
Oh, so you just want to argue with me? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, because you're Captain Toxic and Negative, and we, you know what I mean, I've had enough.
Stinker and deported.
But if I'm sure both of you guys will say the greatest player of all time will probably be different than Ronaldinho. But in my lifetime, and I was born in 92.
Ask Jez.
Jez, who? I'll ask both of you. I'll start with Jez. Who's your favorite player of all time?
Pele.
See, I heard that. Pele.
Unbelievable player. Never saw him live,
Mm.
but watched a lot of him playing for Brazil and Santos, replays of him playing for Santos. That guy was unbelievable, man.
Mm.
I remember the first time I saw him on TV in the 70 World Cup Mexico. I mean, we've all seen clips of that, the amazing Gordon Banks save. And Pele went up to Gordon Banks and shook his hand because he just couldn't believe he saved it. It was the most incredible saves ever. But for me, I'm older. I'm the elder statesman. So
he's older, so he's seen better players than us because he's not a shit.
Well, he's seen them all, to be fair. He's seen them all. So
for me, it's Pele. Sorry, but it is.
Kenny?
I'm going to go. Obviously, Pele was before my time, but yeah, I'll definitely bow to Pele because the fact is that it's not just his incredible talent, but great players. His talent, then achievement and hard work. He's got all of them. But in terms of the player I saw, because of my time, Diego Maradona. When people talk about Messi, I just feel I'll debate him because I'll tell you one thing: Messi is not on no way is at the level of Diego Maradona. Unbelievable. Under no circumstances is Messi on the level of Diego Maradona. There's no way Messi.
Ronaldo.
There's no way Messi. There's no way Messi would do what Diego Maradona did in 1986. There's no way anyone would do what Diego Maradona did in 1986. There's no way.
No, Kenny, he robbed our nation, mate. The hand of God. I'm not having him.
Yes, what about the second goal? That was that a robbery?
Yeah, that was the hand of God. Yeah, he robbed us.
What about the one when Peter Reid was still chasing to this day and still ain't caught him?
Peter Reid
or Terry Fenwick and like I said, what's the name? Terry Butcher is still
Terry Butcher. Yeah, he's still fucking looking over his shoulder. He don't know where he is.
The fact is, if you think about
that goal where he handballed it, England robbed England.
Can I just say one thing, right? He's 5'6". Peter Shilton's about 6 foot, a big lad. How did he get above Peter Shilton to put the ball in there?
He's out like that.
Because his arm was about 10 foot above his fucking head.
Peter Shilton's got hands. What's Peter Shilton doing?
No. Jez, are you having this? And you're part Welsh. Are you having this?
No.
That was a robbery. England should have won the World Cup that year.
The other night,
what about the semi-final?
Hang on a minute, Kenny. The other night we had a debate about this.
Dark Hearts.
That
was the Dark Hearts, Kenny. Isn't it? Dark Hearts.
Dark Hearts. Right. I said, who's your best player ever? International ever. And Kenny said Maradona. And I said, no, I'm not having that. He's a cheat. Right.
I agree.
I hope you get relegated.
Yeah, he was a cheat. Yeah, he was drugged up off his fucking face every single game he played. Yeah.
Really?
And not only that, did you not see him in '94 when he runs to the camera? Fucking looked like Trossard.
We're talking about before 1986. In 1986, if you think
but they didn't have testing like that back then. Yeah, that guy was off his nut every day. Bro. Real talk.
Yeah, he was.
I even put Cristiano Ronaldo in the same bracket of Messi as great player. But hang on here, you'll never see Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo do what Maradona did in '86, and you'll never see Messi or Ronaldo do what Pele did at 17. So when people say that Messi and Ronaldo, and you've got players, you've got people like Jamie Carragher putting them above Pele and Maradona. No, sorry, Jamie, mate. You play football more than me, and you claim you know football, but come on. Two of the greatest players of all time for me are Pele and Maradona. Regardless of what you think of Diego Maradona, that semi-final against Belgium in '86, on his own, dragged Argentina to the final. Argentina were average without Maradona.
To be fair, the World Cup in Qatar, Argentina were average there, and who won it from? Messi.
Well, but Messi, trust me, Messi, what, a couple of penalties? Maradona.
No. Kenny's dismissing penalties. No, Kenny, come on, mate. Your football knowledge is insane. Penalties count, and there's a pressure moment. It's his last World Cup, and he has to carry the nation on his back after retiring. And then coming back out of retirement. Maradona's not better than Messi.
Maradona did that 36 years before Messi won the World Cup.
Yeah, Maradona was on drugs every day.
Not in 1986 he was. Maradona was...
We don't know. We weren't tested.
All I'm saying is that Diego Maradona, on his own, won the World Cup on his own. And he's still one of the greatest players. When you talk about the greatest players ever, if you want to put Messi and Ronaldo in that bracket...
I don't put Ronaldo in the top 50.
crack on, mate. Yeah, that's your opinion. But the fact is, to put Messi on the same level as Diego Maradona, it's opened the debate. From what I've seen, remember, Messi's had protection from referees. Diego Maradona.
Oh, this guy, you sound like a top good. Do you hear me? He had protection from referees.
Yes, though.
Hey, Maradona robbed our nation. He robbed our nation. He had protection from the referees in the biggest game of. Come on.
Maradona played football where offside, where level was offside. He played football where a 2-footed tackle wasn't sending off.
I agree. The pitches were shit as well. The pitches were shit.
And he still managed to drag his nation to win the World Cup. The only player that Argentina had in that team that was top class was Van Dada. All the rest of them were average.
Are you having this? Are you having this, Jez? Are you having this? Like, do you actually think that Ronaldo's anywhere near the level of Messi first and foremost? And then no, I'm not having Maradona. Maradona was mad gifted. I'm not taking that away from him. He was unreal. Yeah, but for me, yeah, and my dad's 66 now. Yeah, my dad said the best player he's ever seen is Zidane. Zidane's the best player.
If you ask me the question between Ronaldo and Messi, it's Messi. Sorry.
Messi, big up, Jez.
Fair enough. Yeah. It's still, greatest players of all time. It's always
like Kenny, sorry to interrupt you. I don't like Ronaldo. Never have liked him, Ronaldo. He's a cheating bastard when he got Beckham sent off in the World Cup. So,
Beckham. Oh, that was Simeone, though.
No. Yeah. No, I know what he means. When he winked.
Oh, you talk about Rooney.
When he winked.
Rooney,
when it was Rooney. Yeah, Rooney, not Beckham. It was Simeone. Yeah, and he winks and all of that. Yeah, fucking. No. I don't like Ronaldo either. I don't like Ronaldo. Hold that.
Doesn't matter if you like him or not. The numbers speak for itself and the trophies.
Numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
No, numbers do lie. Numbers do lie. I'll tell you how numbers lie. Yeah. Harry Kane has scored more goals than Maradona. Is he a better player?
Yeah, but come on.
Numbers lie.
But the fact is, when you
apparently we always agree, lads.
Yeah, but when you've seen Maradona play live, you've seen all these players play live. The reason why I say Diego Maradona is because of the fact is I've seen him play live. I've seen what he's done for his country, and I've to this day I haven't seen anyone do what Pelé and Maradona have done for their countries, let alone his clubs. Let's talk about Napoli. Napoli didn't win anything before he went to before he went there. They won 2 Serie A's, all down to him, and they won the UEFA Cup in 1989 down to him. I'm not saying Messi and Ronaldo haven't done it themselves. When you talk about genuine gifted talent, that, of course, Messi's got genuine gifted talent, but he also had a great coach. Yeah, and he was a messiah. Maradona was playing with socks in the slums of Buenos Aires, and he turned himself into one of the best players of all time. And let's not talk about Pelé's humble beginnings. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't, like I said, celebrate Messi or Ronaldo. But for me, from what I've seen, I ain't seen anyone better than Diego Maradona and Pelé. Just haven't.
No, I hear that. Listen, you're all go on, Jez. Go on.
Apparently, I know I never saw this man play. I've read the book about him. My granddad said to me once, the best footballer he ever saw was Duncan Edwards.
Yeah, see, my dad said Duncan Edwards as well. He said he would have been the best by a country mile.
I think so. Yeah.
Apparently, he was going to be equal levels. Don't forget, they were a similar age at the time, right? When Pelé was in the World Cup in '58, and Duncan Edwards, unfortunately, the tragic Munich air crash. Apparently, my granddad told me he would be the next Pelé.
Yeah, my dad told me. My dad was like born around that era. Yeah, like Duncan Edwards was obviously older because he passed in the Munich crash, didn't he?
That's sad.
But very sad. But you know what? That's how good Man United were, because I think a decade later they won the Champions League again. Yeah, it was like they lost nearly all of their team.
Yes.
Yeah, and then 10 years later they won the Champions League. Why didn't they have time? They didn't need time. Yeah, and that's like one of the saddest things ever to happen in football. But like back then, you could obviously listening. And my dad was growing up as a kid. Yeah, everyone used to mention Duncan Edwards. All the older kids used to say Duncan Edwards, Duncan Edwards, Duncan Edwards. And every single time I've seen an older fan that's English that's out here, or an older person out here. Yeah, and we start talking about football. I would say to him, "What do you think of Duncan Edwards?" I've never met a single older person ever say, "No, he weren't all that. He weren't what they thought he was." They've always said he would have been the best player in the world.
I had the same thing. That that Duncan Edwards is like he would have been better than Bobby Charlton. And Bobby Charlton is just like he's like royalty, isn't he? Him and Bobby Moore, like royalty in his country. But in terms of like.
Stanley Matthews. Stanley Matthews was the first person to win the Ballon d'Or.
He's a top player as well.
He was a bad boy. He was a bad boy.
Him and Tom Finney. Well,
Tom Finney as well. Yeah, Kenny knows ball.
You can't lie about
kind
that.
of.
Yeah, lie about it. But I think it's a good pub discussion to talk about greatest players of all time and what. No, I'm not going to talk about Francesc Fabregas. This.
No, don't slander Fabregas again, mate. No, come on, Kenny. No, this is taking a mick. It's every week now.
The 9 p.m. and Watershed hasn't been reset. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting all sorts of people. Apparently, there's
leave Trossard alone this week as well. Yeah, he scored the other night.
Leave Trossard alone.
Yeah, he scored the other night, mate.
I leave Trossard alone, but
did you see Guendouzi scored the other day? Yeah. For France,
yeah,
did you see that? Yeah. It's amazing how these players do all right when they leave, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's all right. Well, good for you, little teams about him being your oh god, here we go.
You've opened. You do this every week. You come here gunning for Cesc Fabregas every week. Every week, yeah.
Apparently,
does any other player rattle you more than Cesc?
Just him.
Just him.
There's two people who are associated with there's three people that are associated with Arsenal Football Club that rattle me: Frank Stapleton, Francesco Fabregas, and Arsene Wenger. The only time I get rattled about those three people.
What Stapleton?
Yeah, what did Stapleton do to you?
Well, if you think about it, when Stapleton went to Man United.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. I knew it. I fucking knew he was going to say because he went to Man United.
How he done it. And the fact is we were shit after that. We were certifiably crap. We were an embarrassment. We're an embarrassment without him because
we lost Brady as well, Kenny, at the same time.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we losing Brady hurt, but losing Stapleton the year afterwards, that was it.
It's because he went to Man U and Brady went to Juve, wasn't it?
No,
yeah, that's what it is. But Brady was fine because he went abroad. Yeah, but Stapleton going directly to Man United wound you up.
Look, players like that leave Arsenal. It's how you do it. You've got to do it with a bit of class. But to force through moves in such a rude and arrogant way, I'm not having it. I'm not having Frank Stapleton. You can go full for multiply, and that's for Francesco to get him. Arsene Wenger, when I hear about, there was a debate about Graham Souness when he said a few things about Arsene Wenger. Now, the bit about him not being a football man, I couldn't care about, but there are other things that, Graham Souness said about Arsene Wenger were the same sort of things that a lot of people say about Arsene Wenger.
So, Kenny, big up to you, big up to Jez, big up to all the real ones, yeah? Love every time. Don't be influenced by this guy, toxic and negative.
Get out of it,
Don't be listening to him. Man, like Thunderbird Lee.
You might have to get an Uber if you carry on. But good debate, good debating. Soon as you mentioned Jimmy Greaves, I had to mud him because he said, "You didn't even see Jimmy Greaves." I said, "Doesn't matter." Yeah, you said we've never produced a player like Ronaldo, as talented as Ronaldo, Jimmy Greaves. Yeah, he argued with me for about 45 minutes the other day. As soon as you mentioned it, I was like, I've got to get him back on it. But nah, it's crazy. But let's back to topic. Let me get these super chats real quick. Colin Bell is my favourite City legend. Big up.
Great player.
Alan Ball as well. Alan Ball played for them as well, innit? He played for us, obviously.
He played for like Blackpool, Everton.
Did he not play for City?
No, played for City.
Okay. I thought Alan Ball played for City for some reason. I don't know why.
Alan Ball nearly joined Man U.
That would have pissed you off, wouldn't it?
Well, I think Alan Ball is where he's from, but no. I'm not saying Arsenal's the be all and everything. End of the day, there is life after Arsenal. If you feel we can better yourself, fine. For instance, I actually understood Robin van Persie's reasons for leaving Arsenal. I got it, but the way when you're a situation when your club's got to 2 FA Cup finals, you come third in the football league, and then your best striker, forces a move to Man United. The 10-year-old me knows, no, 9-year-old me knows that things will never be the same again. And I knew it, and that's why I got very angry, disappointed. But I couldn't articulate it in an adult way as I thought then. I hate Frank Stapleton. I absolutely hate the other one, won't mention his name. And I have issues with Arsene Wenger. I do have issues with him. Because at the end of the day, Arsenal existed before Frank Stapleton, Arsene Wenger, and Francesco Fabregas. Simple.
Very true.
Club comes first.
But this is why I don't get the ump. I used to. Like when Van Persie went to Man United, I was seething. Yeah, but then I realised later down the road when Adebayor came out and said that he wanted to stay, and Arsene said, like, no, you're going in the reserves or we're selling you, your choice. And I didn't believe him. He did a whole 10-page spread. Do you remember that in the newspaper? The sit-down interview. And it was only when Van Persie went on BT Sport with Gerard Lampard and Jake Humphries, I think it was. And he said the same thing. He said, like, they didn't offer me a contract. I had a certain amount of points, like 7 points. I wanted to see where the club was going. Yeah. And they never offered me a contract. And me and Ivan Gazidis didn't see eye to eye on any of them. Yeah. He goes, it was that point I thought I better leave then. Yeah. And the fact that we allowed him to leave so cheap when he was the best striker in the league the season before, can never forgive Arsene Wenger for that, mate. Yeah. If you're going to sell him for proper money, innit? Yeah. Well, 24 million.
Arsene Wenger never sold his players for proper money. He's never made them. The fact is, to be honest, it's very convenient with Arsene Wenger to have player power ruled when he didn't want them. When you know what I mean, he allowed Cesc Fabregas to leave Barcelona on his own terms. We could, there wasn't even an auction for Cesc Fabregas. I mean, how do you let that happen? Adebayor got
30 mil, and Barcelona used him for a couple of years and binned him.
Yeah, and you got the same sort of thing with Hleb was allowed to leave. All of a sudden, after when he was another player that we could have done with. The Nasri thing was Nasri just basically, I just see him as how do I say? I see him as a mosquito. He's nothing. You just get your hands, clap your hands, a mosquito dies, and you walk off. It's a mosquito compared to, good luck with him. Good. Never rated you that highly. Know you're a good player. Didn't miss you. Just a mosquito. Next, I'll see you in the summer when it gets hot again. That's how I just deal with mosquitoes. Like
well, we see them in the winter because it's still hot.
I don't know, in the winter, but,
they don't go away. Normally it's fly season now. There's still mosquitoes everywhere.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Sometimes if you disrespect if you disrespect Arsenal Football Club, then I've got a problem with you. I've got a problem. That's how I look at it. Don't disrespect the club.
Yeah, but don't you think that a lot of the players that play for us now, like recently in the last, say, 5-10 years or so, like the past 10 years, don't you think a lot of them have disrespected it? But they're not been the better players, so they've been allowed to walk out and get away with it. Because some of these players we're mentioning are the better players, they get more heat.
Well, you've got to remember one thing, like, we're at an age now where the majority of people who support our great club don't love the club. They actually fall in love. They actually support the club because they got a favourite player. We've got a lot of supporters at this great club who supported Arsenal because Ian Wright.
Don't trigger him on Cesc, by the way. Don't trigger him. I ain't got time for that again. More.
But you know what I mean? They support Ian Wright, and again, it's a player, but. Me being born and bred in Islington, I supported Arsenal because it was my local club, and I was indoctrinated into the club's history. As soon as I was sold on that, it didn't matter whether Liverpool was successful or whether Kenny Dalglish played for. It was because Arsenal was my local club, and I fell in love with the club. And I'm not saying I'm the only one who loves Arsenal Football Club, because millions of people love the football club, but there are a few people where I think, the way their introduction to the club. For some people it's dubious, but I always have suspicions when it's funny how, regardless of how well we play, that player never gets criticised. Everyone else gets criticised for the player, and you're thinking, hang on here, Why can't we criticise Martinelli?
Mhm.
Why can't we criticise Saka? Why can't we have that debate of whether Saka's world class or whether Martinelli should be replaced or whether Arteta should be replaced? I ain't got it here. Don't we want to win? Isn't it? If you think that someone's going to make Arsenal win trophies, surely that's up for debate. Who cares about the players? We're in an age now where we've all had discussions about player power, player greed, and yet we still worship these guys. Stuff them. I couldn't care who they are. The club's always going to come first for me. You know, if a player gets injured, all right, fine, that's sad, but who's going to take his place and make us better? If Saka left today, I would have a good night's sleep. I'll have a good night's sleep with any of
No,
that players.
that's racially motivated, Kenny. You're not allowed to say that.
I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it that we'll survive. You know,
We've seen better players leave this football club, than Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, it's not a dig against any of these players. I'm just saying the club has to come first. The club has to come first.
Not only that, we don't have that affiliation and connection to these players now. Like Jez, you grew up right opposite the Highbury East Stand. Yeah, it's like you used to be able to go and talk to the players. Yeah, Kenny, you've had that as well, like living in the area as well. You see players walking around, you talk to the players, they'd have time of day for you. You don't have that connection now as older guys, respectfully.
You know when I stop singing, you know when I go, I sing club songs. I don't sing for no player. I refuse to sing for the players.
Most of the songs are fucking cringe anyway.
Yeah, that's
Sack around Emil Smith Road.
But
like the bollocks.
When Addy Boyle left to go to Man City. Now I didn't know why he left, but as far as I'm concerned, I thought that's it. No more singing. I'm not singing for none of our players. All they care about right now is they don't love the club like I do. They're employees. So what? I have no love for them or no affiliation with them. All I'm going to say to myself right now is, you know what, club, because the club's going to be here when the players go, and I'm still, as long as I'm alive, I'm still going to be an Arsenal fan.
What do you make of it, Jez? Because like what you just said there, spot on. Big up to my guy Lewis, man. Get on this app, my guy. Yeah, fuck TikTok. Get on this app. We need more real ones on this app, brother. Get on this app. Message me. I'll help you set up a channel, and you need to get cracking, bruv. Real talk. Yeah, start doing streams, bro, because we need more real talk on this app, mate. It's infested with wrong-uns. Yeah, less so than the app that you're on, because that's a weird place. Yeah, that's a simulation. But Jez, like having grown up like right opposite Highbury, and being able to have contact with the players in terms of like you could see them, they speak to you, like they could walk about freely. Obviously, now we've moved on to the era of mobile phones, everything's recorded, like CCTV, move stadiums, like you must feel like, for me, I feel like this club's buried. I can't lie compared to what I've supported. But with your granddad going in Herbert Chapman era and getting you into Arsenal and growing up right opposite the stadium, living it, breathing it, seeing it every day, like it must piss you off every fucking day. I can't lie.
It does. Yeah. And that's, I've had people say to me, oh, Jez, when are you going back to the Emirates? When are you going? I said, I don't really want to go. I won't lie. I mean, I respect Kenny for going week in, week out and done it for forever and a boy, ever and a day. But for me, I just, no, it's not for me anymore. I just don't like the atmosphere of the Emirates. I'm getting back to your point about seeing the players, back in the early 70s as a little kid, like 9-10 years of age, you used to see when we had the training ground behind the clock end, right, back in the day, right, you used to see the players walking to work, Charlie Jules, likes of them players, suit and tie. They had a suit, that's the dress code. They had to have a suit and a tie. Classy,
proper Arsenal, the Arsenal.
And then you had the main doors of the East Stand would be open. You'd have the concierge guy there, standing there, like, the peak cap, uniform, and you could go and talk to him and have a chat with him, and you'd stand there and you wait for the players to come down. And every single player that would walk down that road, some were more friendly than others, in fairness, but they'd always say, hello, how you doing? Looking forward to the game at the weekend. Yeah, chat, blah, blah, blah. And then every single one of them, if you wanted an autograph, they'd give you an autograph. Autographs was never really my thing, I won't lie.
So they don't do it. Sorry to cut in. They don't really do autographs now. because they're scared that people will go and sell them autographs online, because there's professional fucking wankers out there, right? They literally go around and just get autograph. They don't even support the club, and then they go and sell them online.
Oh yeah, I get that because of modern technology. But it was a different atmosphere then. I mean, I'm going back a long time. So the world has changed. It's turned a lot of times since then. But it was a different era, and it's sad. But no, I don't want to go back to the Emirates. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it.
You say that again, Jace. The thing about it is that I've seen things that go on at the Emirates now make you toe cold, make you go absolutely, bananas. It is a different atmosphere. I think the problem is that unfortunately the genie's out of the bottle. The reason why the atmosphere of the Emirates is a bit different is because of social media. We're living a social media side, new media side, and we've got the fan channels, and the fact is that a lot of younger fans, go to the club, and some of them go to games and actually love it. They go with their mums and dads, but some guys want to go to the games. They want to get selfies for a player, or they only want to go to the big games, or they want to get interviewed by the main fan channel. And that's the situation. That is that new media has made a career out of fans. A football fan, having an agent. I mean, that's the norm now, and I think that's what we do have with social media. Another thing as well, we're in an age where, because of social media, people go to games when they don't even support the club. When you got those guys from Lancashire, father and son from Greater Manchester, they go to all the big games where fans are crying out loud, can't get tickets. Yet this guy and his dad are always at the big games. I mean, how does a non-Tottenham fan, a non-Arsenal fan get to the North London derby? How? How?
Yeah.
And not only that, you've got this young lady who was on. I don't know. Everyone's saying, she talks about football, so she's a great knowledge of. She's got great knowledge of the game, and she doesn't waffle. She's this and that. Not a problem with that. But she's going to games where they involved clubs that she doesn't support. Why are you there? I mean, it's basically this week's adventure. I went to watch the Arsenal play Chelsea. You don't support either of the clubs, and I think that's what we have with this new phenomenon. Is that these days, not only the atmosphere is diluted, but the reason why the atmospheres are diluted and poor is because the wrong people come to the clubs. You know what I mean? And that's the situation. And a lot of fans now only want to go to the big games. But when I see, people with new media accounts going to games of clubs that don't support, and then you've got the other thing. You've got this idiot called Irish Arsenal fan. This idiot. I don't know if I don't know if he's Irish or he's Nigerian Irish, or even though he's a prat. He's a pork chop. Going out inside the North London derby, going, oh yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan. This is rubbish. This is match day. And you've got a pork chop like that. Irish Arsenal fan. What a pork chop. And don't get me started on these little girls, OnlyFans types who paint themselves in all sorts of colours and then go to football. I mean, what's the game coming to? It's pathetic.
But this is what people like. This is why there's so many channels that have panel shows and everything's a heated debate, huge fight. Yeah, clickbaiting their titles left, right, and centre. And it's like, cool, that has a time span, lads. Yeah, you can only fucking con people for long enough until one day they wake up and go, well, I'm an adult now. I'm not a teenager. I've got a job. I don't watch content anymore because you know what? You got boring, mate. Yeah, whereas guess what? We have our authenticity. Very quickly, I want to say this as well. Big up to everyone locked in. Yeah, there's over nearly 800 people in here. And we'll grab these 3 super chats in a sec. Yeah, people are saying that Johnny Minerals is calling me out. Well, that's Johnny Minerals' prerogative. He can do what he wants. I ain't got a problem with Johnny. Yeah, so I don't know why he's calling me out. But somebody in the chat said that I went on AFTV. Yeah, Rance went on and Said went on the other channel, Gold Bitch. Yeah, and we got our channels off of the back of that. Factually, that's correct for this channel. However, I did have 10,000 plus subs on Gunner Bang channel before I ever appeared on AFTV. I never knew Robbie. Didn't go on the channel. Yeah, I knew of Tao because we worked in the same industry, and Tao obviously helped co-founder of the channel. I actually never, ever, ever appeared on AFTV until I had over 10,000 subs. So factually incorrect on that one. However, with this channel, he's right. But is what it is. Maybe he's having a long day. I don't know. Bless up, Johnny.
Yeah, the day, I think
he went on Chelsea Fan TV before he had his channel, by the way. Just saying.
The fact is, right. This is where you get in a situation. It's like this industry that you call like social media. What Terry Flew.
Yeah, I hate that word. It's not industry, and it's like I don't like the word influencer either.
You think about it. If it's made him, if it's like I said, he's made a career out of it, and he's made a successful career. And when I say successful career, he's made money out of it. Of course, he's going to call it an industry because it justifies what he's doing. It justifies the existence of YouTube channels. And as I said before, the genie's out the bottle. And always one thing I'll say, regardless of whether I agree with what people do or not, when the sun's shiny, you make your hay. Make your hay by all means. But the fact is that, you know, you can't, if you want the atmospheres to be electric at big football games, then it's going to be very rare for that to happen because, as I said before, people go to football for different reasons now. Like, you know, and I know for a fact. So, yeah,
you made a great point when you were talking about, I would hate it at the Emirates now. I mean, when I gave up my ticket in 2016, when we first moved to the Emirates, I never liked it. And to be honest with you, I used to prefer to go to away games.
A lot of people did, Chase.
Yeah, away games are a vibe. I can't lie. Because you know what? That's like, you always see the same faces as well. Yeah, whereas at the Emirates, you see different faces every week. You could be, Kenny, you go every week. Yeah, I know you have your select few people around you that have been going on for a long time. But there's still loads of different people that go to different games because them seats are not season ticket holders. When you go to away games, you know it's doing the London aways and Leicester. Yeah, and Leicester. You know that you see the same faces every single week on away games.
You always like to see this. And the thing about it, right, is that
that's not dissing anyone, by the way. I'm just saying it's like it's more of a unity on away games.
It is. So it's a totally different atmosphere, totally different situation because you know you're going like with 4, 5, 6 friends. You know, back in my early days, there'd be like 12 of us making our way. And we'd always go our own way because that's what we like to do. And yeah, we got ourselves in trouble sometimes. Not, that's what happened. But when we went to the Emirates, first 10 games I was there, I thought, this ain't for me. I don't like it. It doesn't float my boat. So I used to go with the 6 guys. I used to go regularly to the Emirates. Used to go to the away games.
I don't blame you, Jess. But you know the thing is, you love the away games because I think what picks the away games. The thing with the away games, you know, it's not like it's like a trade secret or it's something, you know, that's going to get you in problems with the KGB. The majority of people who go to aways nowadays, 90% of them are people who use other people's memberships. Because
that's true. That's very true.
Because a lot of the people who don't want to go, they're old, they've got commitments, and the younger fans, I rate them. The reason why I rate the younger fans go away from away is because they haven't been like hit with the sort of social media stick. You know, they haven't.
Yeah, that's very true. Most of the sorry to cut in. I've got to wrap this up in 5 because I'm going to take them to the airport. Yeah. But most of the younger ones that go away, they're not active on Twitter.
They're not. They got about. If they're active on Twitter, they only got about 100 people following them, and that's all their mates.
And they barely tweet.
They barely tweet, and they just want to go football, and they only use Twitter so they can, you know, get links to get to games. They're the proper ones. But you know, you find, and I say it's factual. I'm not. You know, if anyone got a problem with what I say, then fine. You know where I am. We'll have a chat. You're paying for my food when we have this debate. By the way,
he don't drink alcohol, lads. He drinks Ribena.
Yeah, but you can pay.
It's a cheap date.
You can pay for me Chinese meal because it'll be a long debate anyway. And but a lot of people have been seen at away games and big games when they weren't going before, and that seems to coincide with their appearances on a fan channel. That's just facts.
Yeah, facts. I'm going to grab these. Well, big ups everyone locked in as well. Smash these likes up. Make sure you sub. Yeah, to both of the lads. Yeah, Ken 1972 on Twitter. Well, it is on Twitter, but find him on Insta. Yeah, because you don't like that app. Yeah, so find him on Insta. Yeah, and Jez, Arsenal history and more. I'm going to grab these super chats real quick. I need to take Northside and Mrs. Northside to the airport. Then I'm back there again to pick up Jay, who I had on the channel on the phone the other night. Well, it was on Northside's channel. And I asked him a load of Arsenal questions. Yeah. I said, what do you think to Calafiori? He went, well, he can't fucking defend, can he? I said, what do you think of the Emirates? He goes, the fucking shithole. He's been going 53 years. Is he toxic and negative? But him and his wife are coming out on Tuesday, so I got to pick them up at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, then on Friday, Jay, his son's coming out, and so is Amp Rob, who's in the chat, the Scout, so he's out on Friday. It's like, after that, I don't want to see no motherfucker until the summer. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Then I've got to pick the missus up on Sunday from the airport. I'm like a fucking taxi service. She's back from Romania on Sunday. Yeah, it's like taxi service gunner. Big up Scotty, man. They say George Best was his favourite player. My dad loved George Best.
Great player.
He loved him.
Short career, though. Short career because
he was fucking hammered.
Yeah. And injury as well, because he only started drinking because he got a bad injury when he was 21. When he was on his 20th birthday, he got a bad injury in 66. And although he started playing good football by then, I think after he got his injury in 1966, he started to get injuries. And, by the time he was 20, 23, 24, that was it for his career.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah, that guy was just too busy smashing the fittest birds in England and drinking beer.
Yeah.
Drinking spirits.
I just wish I had his leftovers. Because I'll tell you what, seriously.
Like some of the birds he smashed were unreal, mate. I can't lie.
He turned down some smashers as well. So I would love to.
But when you're George Best and you look like that, mate, and you were the best footballer in the world, or one of them at the time, well, they're dropping panties left, right, and centre.
I wish
the old Miss World shit and all that.
Yeah.
He had Miss England, Miss Jamaica, and another one I can't remember. So he had
Sweden. Sweden.
I think he had the Dutch one as well. I think he had Miss Netherlands as well. He had all the fittest birds in the world, mate. And back then there was no camera phones, so they couldn't grass you up. Big up Georgie Best. His son's a prat, but he was a good footballer. Big up to
Nadir. What's in every reality TV show, isn't it?
Oh, he's a fucking wrong. And Callum Best is a dickhead, bro. I can't stand that bloke. But he's lived off his dad's name forever. Opinions differ. I think I have KDB and David Silva higher in my top 10 Premier midfielders than any of you. Best player I've seen is Messi. My guy, bless up Nadir. Right, David Silva's level is better than KDB.
Hang on it. I could tell you a Man City player that's better than both of them.
Yaya Toure.
Yeah, why doesn't he ever get a mention amongst one of the greatest players that ever played for that club?
He's the best Man City midfielder I've ever seen. Yaya.
Is it because he didn't play play much under Pep? It seems like if you play under
even
Pep,
when he played for Pep, I think he played him at centre. He played him at centre back, didn't he? At Barca.
Yeah, if you play like in Pep's Man City, you get your flowers as one of the greatest Premiership players. But people seem to forget that Man City won titles before Pep went there and trophies.
Yeah, big up to Kyle Walsh as well. Make sure you sub to Kyle's channel. We need more real ones sub into this channel, guys. Okay. Players only care for cash, never be the same again. Facts, they do. Yeah, I said to Northside yesterday when we were watching England, yeah, and we were shit yesterday. And we won 3-0. We were shocking in both games, to be fair. Right, and I said, if you're somebody like Declan Rice, yeah, like at the end of this contract in a couple of years' time, you've got about 20 mil in the bank. Yeah, roughly. Yeah, you've paid your taxes, you've done your thing, you've invested this and this and this. You just go, fuck it, can't be asked. Yeah, and watch that happen. Yeah, in the next 5 to 10 years, you'll see players retiring at 26, 27, 28 because they've made their money in their bounce. They can't be bothered because they don't want to play all the games. Yeah, it's a chore to them. Yeah, like I sit here some nights and I can't be fucking asked to do.
You know, I disagree with you because for every player that can retire at the age of 26 on 20 grand, there's about 50% of them like Carl Walker. I mean, how thick is he? I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you, this the foundations of this ass. He's thicker than the foundations of this ass.
He must be, because he's got how many kids? Yeah, with 2 different women. They speak to each other. Yeah, then he put a ring on that one. Then that one fucking did a DNA test to prove that that's his kid. Then he went back and got her pregnant again.
Trust me.
He's thick as 2 short planks, that guy. I swear down, that kid's as thick as shit.
There's one thing you forgot, right? Whenever you talk about players, footballers, and footballers' wives, add a new word on the end of that sentence: divorce.
Yeah, this is why I rate Hakimi. Yeah, everything's in his mum's name. You ain't getting nothing. Anyway, let's carry on. I've got to get through these quick because I've got to take them. Yeah, they've got to be there in half hour. Hope everyone is doing well. Shout out to Zia Talks and the Bayern View. Bless up to both of them as well. Big up to you, Juve Stallion, as well. Bless up to Zia Talks. Make sure you sub. And Bayern View, they're both Bayern Munich fans. Make sure you sub to both of them. And big up to Juve Stallion as well. Love always, bro. Nadir's back again. Love getting to games, Newcastle and Brentford, even away games. I like going to them more because those are the hardcore fans I meet, and it's great. That's very true. Yeah, that's not dismissing the home fans, but the away games are so much better. Yeah, and it's the same people. You see them every game. Yeah, you go out to Madrid, you see him. You go then 4 days later, you're in Newcastle away, you see him. Yeah, then you go to the Emirates, you don't see him. Unless you sat next to him. Yeah, then you go to the next away game, it's Bournemouth or Brighton or somewhere, you see him. Yeah, they're everywhere. The away fans, big ups to them. Big up to them. Whether they like me or not, I couldn't care less. Big up to them because they are the hardcore of this fan base. You know, like Kenny said earlier, they're barely on social media. Big up to Daryl as well. Big up Jez, Kenny, Chef Gunner. Great discussion as always. Please don't mod me. I'm not modding you because you never want to be mod, so I'm not modding you. But I appreciate you here always. Yeah, I appreciate you here always. And yeah, listen, Everton might just be turning it around. You know, you never know. You never know.
Oh, yeah.
You've got one job: beat Liverpool in a few weeks or whenever it is. You've got one job. And big up to my sweetie Galen, always here. Bless up to you, sweetie. Bless up to you. This girl's lovely. I swear, I love this woman. Yeah, you're always here every show. Listen, I'll be back. I'm going to take Northside and Mrs. Northside to the airport. And then back, I'm doing the Germany-Holland game and the Belgium-France game. Is it Belgium-France? Yeah. Belgium-France.
Yeah, butchers on what's it? The Chelsea fan says about it as well.
I don't know why. Listen, I ain't got no issue with him. I think what it is, yeah, is like he texted me after the whole racismo thing. I never replied. I ain't even opened my dad's text message from 4 weeks ago. I'm not even lying. This text message, my mate Connor, one of my best friends, Connor. Yeah, you guys in the chat would know Connor and Nicole. They live in Thailand. Yeah, his birthday's the day after mine. They do their vlog channel. I ain't even opened his message, and he texted me on Friday. I ain't even opened it. It's one of my best pals. And if I do open it, I don't reply to people. Yeah, so I think he got a little bit of the that I didn't defend him and all that. Maybe that's what it. I don't know. I've not spoken to him for months. Yeah, I ain't got no issue with him. But listen, I was on AFTV after I already had a channel that had over 10. I think it was between 10 and 12k subs called Gunner Bang. Yeah, then I went on AFTV Extra with Mems. Do you remember that, Kenny? With Mems, we used to go on there with Chig, Mems, yeah, Sam from Milton Keynes.
Exactly.
So, that's what it is.
We've all been on a fan channel. We've all been on an A fan channel. You know, all been on AFTV. We see, you know, we speak from authority because we've been there. You know, it wasn't a great experience for me and you. And we think, well, we've got no loyalty to them, so we say what we like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is what it is. Yeah, both of them games, Rossi, I'm doing it at the same time. So, yeah, that'll be on Lee Reacts. Jez, bless. Always a privilege to have you on, mate. You always speak facts. What you got coming up? Shout your channel out, mate.
Yeah, I was going to do a watch song tonight, but I'm not going to. I've got to go somewhere else. Got to go and see a daughter. But yeah, tomorrow night, coming to the end of my Arsenal journey show, which I've really
they've been good. I can't lie, they've been very good.
I loved them. I've absolutely loved them. So many different opinions, so many different comments, and it's been brilliant. Tomorrow night, I'm doing Darren Sullivan. I think Anthony Herbert wants to do his some point, but yeah, I've really enjoyed it. And of course, 6 o'clock on Wednesday night is the weekly football chatty show. So always look forward to it.
Yeah.
Happy days.
You know what? I actually loved it. I actually loved the sort of like doing the memory show. You know, as I said before, I still think the best game I've ever seen in terms of atmosphere was 1988. Arsenal beating Everton 3-1, because it's the first time I was at a football club ground where we won a game which took us into a final Wembley.
Mm.
You know, like in '87, we beat Spurs to go to Wembley, but it was at their ground. It wasn't at Highbury. So to win a semi-final at Highbury and get to the final,
Yeah, fuck them.
it's got to be brilliant.
What you got coming up, Kenny?
Well, I've
Kenny
got
Ken
Dad
1972 is linked. Go
Yeah,
on.
I've got Dad tomorrow at 7. No doubt I'm going to have a row with someone on the show because I'm going to say something different to what the mainstream think. And I'm with Jez at 6 o'clock, where we have our weekly wrap-up show. And obviously, we've got a massive game against Bournemouth, must win. But then again, everything must win. Plays as a must win. Even press is a must win.
No, thanks. Make sure you follow both of them. Also, I'm doing the America or Mexico America game. I don't know why I agreed to sign up for that with Matty. Yeah, that's Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, 4:30 in the morning, my time.
Oh, that's a derby, isn't it? That's a derby. That's a derby.
Mexico, USA. I don't know why I agreed to that, but Matty, I will be there. He texted me and said, you said remind you. I was like, oh, fuck, that's 4:30 a.m. So I will be there. But no show with Rance tomorrow. I think he's still on holiday. I think he's back later on Tuesday. But yeah, I'm out of here, guys. I'll be back in what time is it now? Yeah, I'll be back in about 2 hours. We're going to redirect to Saeed TV. Yeah, he's live right now on a panel show. They're rating every single 10 hard player that he's signed. So go and check that out. That's going to be fireworks. We're out. Cronky out. Later. Bless up to everyone who's locked in.
Arteta out.
Of course.
Cronky out.